Welcome, everybody. I am Jason Wright.
And I am your neighborhood sis, Ash T.
Distinguished gentleman, Jamie Wright.
This your man that's going to always keep it real, Jarrell Wright.
And we are the Our Blank Slate podcast crew. Welcome back, everyone. This is Our Blank Slate podcast. I am Jason Wright with my co-host, Jarrell Wright, Jamie Wright, and Miss Ashley Turrentine. Today we are talking about the scorecard relationship. Right? As we talk about, as in every show, we have our social topic, we have our either in my feelings segment or keeping it real segment, and then we have our health and wellness segment. Today, for our social topic, we are talking about the scorecard relationship, the difference between keeping track and actually keeping love alive. So what I'd like to ask the panel, all right, my co-host and more likely, since Jarrell, we're gonna probably start with you, and my question that I ask is, since we're talking about a scorecard relationship, what I ask you all, as you're thinking about your answers and as you're thinking about your responses, have you ever kept mental receipts in a relationship? Like, I did this for you, so I showed up here, I handled that, and you're sitting here like it's your turn to show up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, have you ever found yourself thinking like, I did this for you, so why aren't you doing this for me? Or, and I'm saying not aloud, but in your head, you know what I'm saying? Because if you have, you might not be in a relationship, you might be in a scorecard. And I think a lot of times, and I'm gonna be honest, so this is a personal reflection for me, because I know in my relationship, I had thought that early in the past, I had kept a transactional, receipt of, I'm doing all this, I'm the one, at work, you at home, doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I should expect certain things. So, I got to thinking about over the weekend, I was hearing different conversations and listening to different topics. But so I came down to this one right here, you know what I'm saying? The scorecard. A lot of times, especially, whether it's a man or a woman, we all keep score. And well, I shouldn't say we all keep score, because it's something we shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So, as I see Ashley over there shaking her head like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I hope you do not. But have you ever in your relationship? So first and foremost, I know I'm gonna pass it over to Rail. Have you ever done that? Or have you noticed a relationship that keeps receipts instead of love intentions?
I mean, it's a very good question. And to my credit, I mean, I'm gonna say to my credit, but to my detriment, I had before. I have kept, scorecards. And with me, it was because I felt unappreciative. I felt that the person was ungrateful.
Yeah.
So I felt that, my wife was ungrateful at times. And it wasn't that she was ungrateful. I'm going to break this down. So give me a second here. So I was like, you know what? The things that I do, you should be grateful of the things I do, because I don't have to do all these things I do. So I do all these things, and then you may come back with me with this. I'm like, what? After all the stuff I do, and at the end of the day, I had to learn several things. I had to learn how to love the way they want to be loved, not the way that I want to give it to them. So what I mean by that was, I'm like, I did these things. They didn't ask for them. This is not what they asked for. So I did it, and I was keeping score. Like, I did all this stuff for you, and then at the end of the day, you have the audacity to say this, and that. But they never asked for those things. I did it because that's how I wanted to express my love. And by doing that, and doing that scorecard, it fosters resentment, because I'm like, how dare you feel the way you feel with all these things that I do? Then it also creates a transactional, like you said, dynamic, and it doesn't allow for that person to feel like love. They feel forced to have to do something, because they're like, well, since you did this for me, you're going to be expecting this in return, like a quick quote type of
Is
thing.
that wrong though? You know what I'm saying?
It's-
Again, I'm just asking questions today. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is wrong. It is, because you have to express your love languages. And once you express your love language, allow that person, you have to love that person the way they want to be loved. What I mean by that is, I had to learn love languages.
Mhm.
So their love language and my love language, what may have been out of sync. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't my fault. It was that I wasn't, well, I could say it probably was my fault. I wasn't listening to or learning their love languages the way I should. I was loving them the way I wanted to love them and express my love. And then it may came back unappreciative because that's not really what they wanted.
Right.
You know, I may have went out and did all these grand gestures, and all they really wanted was time.
That's right.
So then I'm sitting here like, I spent all this money and did all these things when all they really wanted from me was time. And so then I feel like this person, she was unappreciative because she didn't appreciate all these things I did, all this stuff, money I didn't spend, and they didn't even ask for that. I did that. So then I would build resentment and stuff of that nature. So I had to take a step back and be like, what am I doing wrong? You know, why am I feeling this way? And then I had to say, you know what? I know what it is. I'm not loving that person the way they really want to be loved. What I mean by that is I had to learn their love languages and things that they valued that was important and not what I valued that was important to give to them. So that's how, when you start keeping receipts, at the end of the day, you got to learn what is really important to them and then they got to learn what's important to you. And then it also creates bias too by doing that, because I may have overestimated all the things that I had did. And they may like, well, in your eyes, you ever notice when it's that thing that says your rearview mirror, the object may be closer than what it appears? That's how it is sometimes with us. I may thinking I did something just grandiose thing, and in their eyes, it wasn't all that grand because this is not what they really wanted in the first place.
Right.
So when you keep those scorecards, that definitely affects your relationship. It affects them, and it affects you. So the bottom line is no one feels safe. There's resentment. There's people that got, you know what, I have to do this because he did that, or I have to do this because she did that. And they're not really giving the love that they want to give, or giving the love that they want to receive. So it could be detrimental to a relationship, to answer the question.
No, I truly feel you don't build intimacy by keeping receipts. You know what I'm saying? So I truly feel that. And so, nah, man, hey, I think you got it started off on the right track. So man, now, you know what? I got to hear from Ashley, and then we'll give it to Jamie, because I felt like you have given our viewers a lot of gems in those quick 5 minutes, real. So nah, man, I mean, the viewers couldn't see, but you know, everybody was giving you claps and teas and whatever, all that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really dropped some gems. So no, good points. Made some very, very good points. So now, Miss Ash, what's your perspective on that as well?
I completely agree with Real said. Everything. My perspective is I go into a situation trying to learn that person first. I'm big on love languages, so I present myself as someone that, and I guess I don't even remember my past. I'm just gonna talk about my husband because that them don't matter back in the day, right? But when I started dating him, I had to learn what he liked. I was big on love language. I actually gave that to him as a book, sent it to him when we were dating long distance. So I've been familiar with that for a long time. So I just show up the way I think, and if I need to show up for him, and if I not showing up, I ask questions. We have very open line of communication. I think that's important too. So if he's not satisfying or doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm not doing, keeping the scorecard, if we're not doing that because we're overly communicating how we feel about things. So no, I'm not one to keep a scorecard. I agree with you. I don't keep a scorecard. I do things because it's genuine to me. I don't do things with expectations. So yeah.
I think a lot of it comes from, as you said, transactionally, of saying, I did this for you, so I'm expecting you to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? And in the relationship, you should be doing things not to get it in return. You should be just be doing that out of love.
It's just something that like if you wake up intentionally, and that's just talking about a relationship, if you wake up intentional about that person daily, regardless of whatever the transaction is or the transaction history may have been, if you're intentional, there's that satisfaction is there, and that scorecard doesn't need to be there.
Do you
So
think that scorecard comes from, you know what I'm saying, your past experiences? Or, you know what I'm saying, where you feel like you given too much into a relationship?
I've always just been myself. Like I've never kept a score. I've always was genuine in any relationship, friendship, anything. I was always just doing things because it satisfied me as a person, with the intent to satisfy whatever that person is. That's, for example, if I have a friend, I'm gonna show up for that friend the way I would want my friend to show up for me. And there is no scorecard. And if he or she doesn't show up for me in that way, then I'm not disappointed. I'm not hurt. I don't keep a scorecard. I'm not, because I'm doing those things out of kindness in my heart, without expectation. So
Right.
everybody's different. It's simple for me. I'm simple. I just like simple things. Just real simple. Keep it, be me. Why complain? Who wants to complain all the time?
I mean, I feel you. So you know what I'm saying? So so I assume yours, love is not transactional, you know what I'm saying? It's a contribution. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'll sum yours up. So now, you know what I'm saying, Jamie, with the interest of time, because I know I got a few more questions. So with the interest of time, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
You know what? I really like what you said, real, and that was sweet and it was endearing and it was thoughtful. And that's how love should be, right? We shouldn't be keeping score, but I hate to be the antagonist and I hate to be devil's advocate because the devil don't need advocating. But you all gave the right answers. Let me give some real answers. We all keep score, whether you do it intentionally or unintentionally. And I'll tell you what I mean by it, right? I know my wife's love language and she knows mine. I've learned it by force and by choice. Especially when I've made grand gestures, right, that didn't necessarily resonate with her. And then I've had to learn on my own to really understand what she likes and what really is meaningful for her. But trust and believe when emotions are on the surface or love has a tendency to take some of the things for granted, but only focus on the exceptions. Bear with me, man. Let me give you an example. Say, for instance, there's the one time you've asked your wife who does a million, you do a million things for her or your significant other, and the one time she asks you to do something and you say no and you have a legitimate reason, here comes the scorecard. Whether you're keeping track or whether you're not keeping track, it comes out. I find myself doing it. Times where I choose, it's interesting. As much as you love somebody, and much as you love things about that person, certain times in life you find your differences and your differences surface relatively easy. And I make intentional choices not to find reasons for us to have contra. And I choose my words wisely. I pick my arguments. I pick my battles. Sometimes it don't necessarily need to be talked out. It don't need to be an argument. But trust and believe if something didn't go my way or I was expecting something that it didn't happen, I do it unintentionally. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Oh, just recently this happened and I was cool. Didn't say a word. Then this happened. I was cool. I just roll with the punches. I would say it's all right. Now this next situation occurs. Now I blow up because it's actually a situation that I've been keeping track. I've been doing it unintentionally. I've been trying to show up and do what Jarrell's saying, where I'm doing the right thing. I'm being understanding. I'm being empathetic. I'm being sympathetic. I'm being loving, and I'm being caring. But deep down, I am still keeping track. And I know when if it happens on my wife's side, if there's things that she's managing, if she's picking and dropping up the kids, if she's cooking, picking dinner up, doing baths, dropping off laundry, etc., and holding us down during a period where there's a lot of busyness, and I come home and I'm just free, sitting down watching TV or chilling. Yes, that track record is going to come up. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's going to be problematic. So not to say that what Jarrell's saying isn't right, because that is the right thing to do. You want to love people unconditionally, and you want to do things for the right reason, and you want to be considerate, and you want to be thoughtful, right? But we all keep track. It's no different than anything you do in life, man. You are keeping score, and sometimes you have to remind people of the score when there's some kind of situation of difference that arises. And I'm not perfect, and I don't think anybody on this phone or on this podcast is perfect. I think we should go for the right thing to do. We should be loving. We should be endearing. We should be caring. We should love people the way they want to love. We shouldn't be keeping track. but we're human beings. We are
I
creatures
don't
of
think
habit,
that's
and
keeping track. I
I would beg
disagree.
to differ.
How is it not?
I disagree because as what you did was not keep track. What you did was give grace. What you did was not say, in my mind, you didn't keep track of things. You gave grace to a situation. You're not going to complain about the situation. It is what it is. Let's just move forward. Let's not. Then
Yeah,
you gave
and
grace again, but it's not like it gets to
yeah,
a point where
but the moment
communicating is not keeping a score. It's communicating. It's
but the
effectively
moment that
communicating.
grace ran out, I read the receipts. Okay. So I asked you to do this and you couldn't do it this one time. Let me tell you, I did X, I did Y, I did Z,
And,
and you
and
didn't even have to ask me. And it comes out. Every
everyone
married
does that.
couple,
And
every
you,
married couple, everybody in a relationship, and you don't mean anything by it. You don't
right,
mean to hurt anybody. It's just the reality. We are humans. We keep track of patterns. We are creatures of habit.
right.
And if things are
But I
not
don't think
happening,
that's a scorecard. Maybe I'm
That is a
looking at it
score.
what,
How
differently.
is
you
that
want
not a
to.
scorecard? If you are tallying up what you have done versus what they have done, that's a scorecard. That's scoreboard all day long.
I don't
I
care if you call it a car, an automobile. I don't care if you call it a Cadillac. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. And again, people, we human.
That's
We're
right.
not saying there's nothing wrong with it. But
And
more
we
often, the fact that you're cognizant of it and the fact that you're self-aware, you can be mindful. If you catch yourself, you know what? I'm keeping score. Now you can mitigate it and you can stop yourself in the moment. So hopefully you can do the right thing. I just
and
thought
we
it's
do it
important to
all the
bring
time.
levity all the
But
Yeah.
time.
but
And
hold
we
on,
do
hold
it
on.
not
But
only in
Jarrell
a
said it. Jarrell
relationship,
said it in the
we do it
beginning.
at work.
Right,
We
right.
do it
But hold on,
fishing.
Jarrell. Hold on. But you said it in the beginning. It mostly comes from, and Jamie just said it. He didn't say it. He's, how you say it without saying it. He said it. You know what I'm saying? Just as Jarrell said it. When that builds up, when your tally builds up, you feel unappreciated.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It all boils down to, I feel unappreciated right now. I did this for you. I did that for you. I did that for you. It's almost like the Beyonce song. The first time I
I
said
said
no,
no. It's
it's
like I
like I
never
never
said yes. Well,
said
I tell you,
yes.
man,
You know what I'm
that was
saying? And that's just being human. All right, that's just
I
being
don't
human.
think it's
And
a
that's real.
scorecard though. I
And
don't think
no,
it's like an
it is.
intention.
It's human, but it's a scorecard. We
I
are
don't
supposed
agree.
to love. Hold on. When we said I do, we are supposed to love unconditionally. That's
Mhm.
what we said we would do. All right. But we keep a scorecard because just how the example and scenario that he just gave is perfect because we do it day in and day out. Every
You know
week.
what, big bro? I'll give her it on a positive note. We're keeping a scorecard. It's okay. Since you like to reference our current relationships, that's the one I'll use. And my wife is right in front of me, so I have to save another scenario for that episode. Sometimes my wife has gone above and beyond. It's been thoughtful occasions. It's been very considerate effort that she put in. I like affection. I'm really musically inclined. I love music and etc. For our 10-year anniversary, she had a song made for me. And she did this and she knows that's my love language and I loved it. And then the following year she did, the previous year she did this and the previous year she did that. And I kept tally because I'm like, one, I actually would try to like how do I put this? I want to compete on how much love we show for one another. Man, she went so hard for me for my 40th birthday, all the coordination and the planning, minimal sleep, the logistics, the project management coming in from out of town, the day of, and everything was done to my exact specification. I'm keeping a tally, but it's a positive tally. And I'm like, when it's my time to show up for her, I'm coming hard. I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna do everything I can to match that same energy. So what I want to tell you is keeping a tally. It isn't always a bad thing, sis. It's okay. We do it whether we want to admit it or not, or whether you want to call it a tally,
Maybe
whether you
that's
want to
I
call
don't
it a
call it a
scoreboard.
tally.
But maybe we're just getting caught up in semantics. You know what I mean? And I think it's table stakes at this point. But
Not a
we all
scoreboard.
keep score. We all keep score, whether it's good or whether it's bad. We keep score. That's my take on the topic.
I digress. I'll let you have it. Because I see we getting there one time, so I'll let you have it.
And
But
I'll
I
take
do
it.
think that's a little bit more simple than that. Like in my mind, it's a little bit more simple than maybe I'm a woman. I don't. To me, it's just
Maybe
No,
you're a woman.
you are a woman. I want
because
you to
I'm a
know that.
woman. It's a little bit.
No,
Cut
but
it
I want
out.
to make sure we stop and let everybody know you are a woman, Ashley, and I want you to know that because
Maybe
nobody else
it's
has told
because
you
I'm a woman
you
that
are a
I'm
woman.
looking at it from a different lens. Like to me, I don't. It's just too much. Like you're saying, maybe semantics. It's not so much as a scorecard. And is that what we call it? Something that we innately do? You mean I get fed up because something isn't done because I'm fed up. Now I've been keeping score. Like to me it's not a score, it's not a scorecard. It's just life. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just, to me, that's just too much to say, oh, we're keeping track of what the things you didn't do and the things you did do. And
Yeah.
it's too, and now the tallying of it has made me snap and I'm gonna read these receipts. It's no, it's about communication. And communication is not that black and white to me. So whatever. Call it what you want.
I would say it's about communication and expectations. For
That
example,
too. And if
if
your
I'm sitting here,
expectations are
man,
not being met, it's not about tallying it. It's about communicating my expectations aren't being met in this
But you're
way
going to
because this
tally
is
up
what
those
happened.
expectations. You're going to say, you haven't done this, you haven't done this, you haven't done this. You're going to tally up.
That's not a
those expectations.
scorecard. A scorecard is something to win a game. Like you keep a scorecard and a tally is like something to win at the end of it. At the end of the day,
That's
it's
what you're
not.
doing. You are sitting down with that person, debating with that person, tallying up the things to win your argument of saying you are in the wrong. That's exactly what happens when somebody start doing their tallying. All right. So to Jamie's point, he had a
I
positive one
disagree.
as well. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
on the negative side, it is a scorecard. Regardless of how you say it, Ashley, however you want to say it, communication, we're communicating. Once somebody's tolerance level has gotten up to here, they start leveling off everything that person has done. They got them to that point. That's a scorecard.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you want to dress it, you want
I
to
don't
color it, however you want to make it, it's a scorecard.
agree to
It's just-
disagree.
we could do this, and I don't want to mansplain this to you by
Yes.
any means. I honestly think we're
Bookend it.
we can book it. I think
Disagree.
we're saying the same thing though, and I think we're saying it differently, and then we're getting caught up in the semantics of it being a scorecard.
I agree.
And I think looking at a scorecard as a negative connotation is probably what makes the apprehension, but a scorecard is also a beautiful thing on the positive side when you can reflect and recall and you're tallying all the amazing and beautiful things that you love about your husband or things that he's done for you. That is still a scorecard because you're keeping account and you're keeping record. It's fine to do. We have what you call a memory, and a memory what happens is it creates these deposits of things that have happened in our life connected to that individual.
So the memory is the
track.
scorecard.
I mean, the memory gives birth to a scorecard because it's a recollection of a series of events that
Or
happened.
is it just a memory?
During your anniversary, you actually talk about a scorecard of everything that has made you happy, that's made that done thing, the memories that, like you just said, the memories of your past, of all that goes into that scorecard. And every anniversary or birthday, you may bring it up to celebrate that person. It all comes down to that scorecard. However you want to dress it up, it comes down to the scorecard.
I disagree, but
we
that's
can do
okay.
that, sis. In France, they call pancakes crepes. Here we call here sometimes
and those are still different.
Here sometimes we
give my kids a crepe, okay, and see how they feel about that. You'd be smacked with it, okay?
we call them pancakes here, and sometimes you could even put them in this square-shaped object where they're called waffles. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. But I digress and I move on. I appreciate the topic. And sis, I want you to know I hear you. I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
I just, we literally, we got 3 minutes left. So I do have a question from the standpoint of, again, it comes back from unappreciation. How do you communicate that better without using a scorecard?
Apparently you can't you got to use a scorecard. Everything you do is on a scorecard. You can't do it without a scorecard.
Well, it is in your delivery and in your communication. Exactly what we all just talked about and what you just talked about. So in that, how do you keep it from being a scorecard to being able to communicate to your partner?
Well, I would say with that is, instead of bracing it as this is what you don't do, this is what I want you to do. I would say we can focus on this, we can focus on that. So it's not putting blame on one individual. It's actually taking onus as collectively as a couple. Because in my eyes, I sit there and would say, I did all these wonderful things. And then in her eyes, she can say, well, all those wonderful things that you did, I really care less about because that ain't what I wanted you to do.
Right.
So then I feel upset about it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Well, if you didn't like those things, you sure accepted them. You didn't say I don't want them. You can take them back. You know, so so then, but instead of me saying that, I could have said, hey, you know what? You're absolutely correct. You know, I need to learn. I need to focus more on what you desire and what you like versus what I want. So let's us take the onus on it and let's us focus on making things better. You know, instead of me always pointing the finger, because I'm guilty of it. You know, I'm quick to do that, especially if I feel that one thing I can't stand is an ungrateful individual.
Amen.
I cannot stand an ungrateful individual. I can't. You know, and then I could be looking at something wrong and looking at it in a way this person is ungrateful or unappreciative. You know, so I have to check myself. So I do a lot of self-reflecting lately, and I hadn't been that in the past. So I haven't. I've been a person that, you know, quick to point fingers, quick to do everything, especially when it comes to relationship. And I'm thinking you know, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And then once I actually listen and see it from their point of view, there's a lot of things that I learned to make me a better husband, a better friend, and a better confidant. So that's how I think that you can do better is by doing a lot of self-reflecting. And God gives you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk, and you'll learn a lot more.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think just simply communicating when you have any kind of discomfort and realizing and recognizing that just because you communicate a feeling of discomfort doesn't have to cause an argument or lead to a negative result. If you know how to effectively communicate those needs, those disappointments, those issues, those concerns that you're having, there's no need to go to the Rolodex and run down the past ones because you've already addressed those. So to me, I don't believe in holding on to anything that I feel discomfort about. I like to have let's address it right then and there. Let's talk about it. Let's get down to it. And it can be a great outcome. It can be a great conversation. It doesn't have to be an argument so that I don't have to be like, well, you didn't do this last week. And I've been, you know what I mean? I guess going back to the scorecard, if that's what you want to call it. That's why I say I don't keep one, because when it all boils down to it, if I feel a sense of discomfort, I don't wait till my discomfort builds up and then I got to run down a list of things that makes me uncomfortable. I deal with those issues and I address those in that moment, move on, and leave the past in the past. This is
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's say your husband, he makes a mistake and he does something, you know, as well as, you know, and it's unintentional, and it makes you feel a certain way. And then let's say 3 months later, he does that exact thing again. You're not going to bring up the previous time that he did it?
Possibly. It's
Well,
going to,
keep it
but
score.
that to me is not, that is to me a reference point. That's not a scorecard. It's not nothing that's bad. This is like, hey,
Saying semantics.
and maybe that's what it is, because I don't believe that that's a scorecard, because if I've already addressed the issue and it's the same issue, then it is safe to bring it up. Then it's like, okay, we already had this conversation previously. Do we need to revisit this conversation? It's not, oh, well, you did this, and this. No, hey, remember that conversation we had 2 weeks ago about the issue that we're having now? It's not a scorecard. To me, it's not like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Again, it could be semantics, but to me, it's not keeping score. It's to me about revisiting a conversation that was once had or an issue that was once had.
The other thing is we keep painting the picture of a scorecard being a negative thing and creating this connotation
Right.
with it. With anything else, it can have positive and negative attributes to it. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be anything that's detrimental to a relationship. There's a lot of healthy ways keeping a scorecard is meaningful and impactful to a relationship. And I'll book in it and I'll close it there. I'll rest my case.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better. And I'll end it with, you know, to me, connection isn't found in proximity, it's found in presence. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the one thing you want in that relationship is a connection and not a scorecard. All right. Every day we're giving
Let us know what y'all think. Do y'all think this is a scorecard, or do y'all think this is a communication issue? Let us know what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Just get in
And
there and comment. Let us know.
Is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? Or is it just a thing? I'd love to hear your comments.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So we will go on to our next segment of the show. I appreciate, I'm telling you, man, y'all have some good points in there. You know what I'm saying? Actually, we want to talk after this. All right. Hey, so
Cut it out.
we'll pass it over. So
Cut it out.
Ice Cold himself, Mr. Jamie Wright, to our In My Feelings segment. Mr.
Yeah,
Jamie
man.
Wright.
Got you, man. Hey, what's up, world? It's always a pleasure, man, for you to meet me in any setting. And so I'm happy to sit here and talk. You know what? I got these pretty brown eyes. I'm in mint condition. I want to look y'all dead in the eye on this topic because it's near and dear to me. I'm really in my feelings, and I want everybody to come close. And this is a wake up call. Here's what I'm in my feelings about this week. It's about the people calling me after 10 p.m. talking about what you doing. I'm sleeping. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm 42
Well,
years
I'm
old.
trying.
Or trying. I'm 42 years old. What you think I'm doing? I'm training for a nightlife decathlon. Let me explain something to you, and I'm gonna speak real slow for the people in the back. After 10 p.m., it's not link up time. After 10 p.m., it's do not disturb unless it's an emergency. You can't call me at 10:37 talking about you trying to go out. No, actually, I'm trying to go in. I'm trying to go into some REM sleep. I'm trying to go into recovery. I'm trying to get some peace. I am annoyed. I don't have that kind of lifestyle. I'm not set up like that anymore. Man, I'm 42. I'm a good day party kind of guy, and I need y'all to really, honestly, I'm gonna break it down for y'all because honestly, I don't know if everybody feel me on this line, and I feel like I'm in my feelings by myself. I see a lot of people here and a lot of people in my crew out here living like it's 2008. I used to be outside. And when I had outside credentials. But now I got a bedtime routine. You know, I gotta have my fan on, my my phone on 12%, so nobody can try to FaceTime me purposely. And don't try to call me after 10 p.m., especially when I lay down, man. Once I'm horizontal, it's over. Ain't nothing getting me up except for, a fire alarm or Jesus coming back. I just want to tell y'all people, be considerate. Let's be realistic. My parents used to tell me ain't nothing going on past 12 or ain't nothing open past 12, but well, we can't include that in there, so I'll leave that alone. But have you all ever got that late night phone call and you just stare at your phone like, man,
What is that?
who raised you? Why are you calling me at 10:52 with energy? Like, what kind of lifestyle is this? And it's always the same people. It's the we outside crew, right? That always hit you up. They don't have a plan, just vibes and poor decision making. They hitting you up. Hey, Jamie, man, you should pull up. Pull up where? Y'all standing outside a club or a lounge wrapped around a building like a brand new Samsung Galaxy is coming out. I don't wait in lines no more. I don't walk in, I walk home. I am a homebody. Hit me up in the middle of the day, you know what I mean? Like a 2 p.m. situation. Get me a vibe where I got sunlight, good music. I can see people's faces and their intention. I'm with it. I'm cool. We can have a great time. You're gonna get a lot of energy and enthusiasm. We're gonna party. But I'm home by 8:30. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a 2 to 6 day party, home by 6, shower, snack. I'm in bed by 9:15, watching my favorite show, and I just live my full life. I don't have that life no more where I'm outside. I'm not outside. It's summertime. It's about to be a good time, but I don't do anything after 8 or 9 o'clock. And I'm just encouraging you people, like, listen, help me help you. You know what I mean? At this stage in my life and in my 40s, man, I'm trying to stay in. I'm trying to have a good time during the day. And I don't understand people who hit you up in the wee hours of the night with no game plan and nothing to do. Like you just got a boatload of energy. And so I just want to put that out there. Maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all nightlife people still. You know what I mean? I kind of aged out of that category. I need time to recover. You know what I mean? I need time to get rejuvenated. And so I just want to say that for the people like me, man. When you are outside of your 20s and your 30s and you live more of a daytime life, man, be respectful. Know that when you call me, the type of activities that I'm interested in. And if it's past 9:30, 9 o'clock, man, take me off the your list of considerations of people to reach out. Because more than likely you're gonna get sent the voicemail. Trust me, it's people in this phone call. I've done it too, and I'll do it again. I do not I do not go out.
Hey, he is not bullshitting. He is not bullshitting.
And then we'll call you with a whack excuse the next day.
Yeah.
And we know that he saw your call.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So
At this point, I just put my phone on airplane mode. I don't, if it's an emergency, it's going to be an emergency in the morning. As long as my kids are in the house, I'm sorry to say this. If somebody has passed, they're going to be gone in the morning. So
Yeah.
put my phone on do not disturb, and I put my phone on airplane mode, and I go to sleep early.
Man, that's the new thing to do now. That is the it thing to do. Is get your rest and get some sleep.
I
So
agree
I'm
with
I'm
that.
I'm not Jesus. I don't answer calls and prayers after 10 o'clock. So if you if you're in the mood to do something, you probably want to call him. So that's why I'm in my feelings, man. And if this is you, and if the shoe fits and you wearing it, if you one of them people that call me after 10 o'clock, man, listen, I'm not singling you out, but if I'm in your house, let me in and hear me out. So if it's anything between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, I'm not your guy. I'm Jamie Wright, man. I'm in my feelings. Do not call me after 9 o'clock, man. I value sleep, I value respite, and an opportunity to recover and rejuvenate, man. I'm not outside. I'm inside.
That's what's
That's
up. Hey, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I think that resonates with you know what I'm saying, most of us on this podcast right now. Shit. I was out too late last night and I'm paying for it today. All right, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
believe me. Hey, after 9 o'clock, quit calling me. I feel you.
I'm 45 minutes into a sleeping pill. I probably got about 15 more minutes to be on this podcast. I'm going to bed. Y'all gonna do the rest of this show without me. So we're going to get this going. So again, I'm trying to educate y'all on the line about me and about people like me. I'm Jamie Wright in my feelings, man. Y'all can catch me next time. Make
That's
sure
what's
you
up.
do. It's before 9 o'clock. I'm gonna holler at you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. You know what I'm saying? So,
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all may have noticed that Jamie has taken a hiatus. He's back. So we are happy to,
I've
he's
been,
back. We happy to have him
getting
back in season 3 in rare form.
I've been getting
He
my
been
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah,
He's been asleep, so he back now.
I've been getting my sleep, and that's why we had to move the podcast before 9 o'clock. So now I'm here. But no,
good. All right, man. All right. We'll go ahead since Jamie again is talking about his sleeping. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it rolling. We'll keep it rolling. So our health and wellness segment. All right. So our health and wellness segment is sex, silence, and shame. Why we're still not talking about it. Most do not talk about it out loud. How they want to be made felt, or even how sex is in the bedroom. So what we were going to talk about, and I'm gonna bring this, and actually, since I did rail the first time, you know, I'm gonna bring Jamie on it the first on this one right here. Hey, so this topic right here is not talking about the issues that are in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're female and your guy is trash, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Are you talking? I shouldn't even say trash. You know what I'm saying? Is not what you
That
do.
was harsh.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Is not what you desire. All right. But the thing is are you talking about it? You know what I'm saying? If you're a guy, if from the lady is not what you desire, are you talking about it? Because there's counseling, there are toys, there are, you know what I'm saying? If you're not good down there, are you good with your dinner work? You know what I'm saying? With your mouth. I mean, like there are several different. I mean, no. I mean it. No, so we're gonna talk about this, all right? Because you know there
When
are.
you say talk about, you're telling her talking about it with each other, not talking about her to somebody else.
Right. Hey, right. So I was thinking,
get that.
hold on, let me do it, James. So hold on, sit back with me for a second and listen for a second. You know what I'm saying? So, but my thing is, you know, are you talking about it with your partner? All right, because if you're not satisfied, if you are faking your orgasms, if you are faking the oohs and ahs, if how does that help the relationship? What are you doing about it? And how do you talk to your partner about those things? All right, because again, there are tutorials. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, there are
Not
tutorials
tutorials.
on YouTube. Man, believe me, how to do the finger thing, to do the tongue thing, to do. I mean, hell, there are for females. There are plenty tutorials. There are counselors. There sex counselors. There are plenty things out there to help you in the bedroom. Why are you being silent? All right. So that's the next topic we are about to speak to right now is, and the topic states sex, silence, and shame, why we're still not talking about it. All right. So I'm gonna pass this over to Jamie right now because you know, and again, you know, since Real started it out, and you know, I was gonna pass it to Ashley first, but I didn't want, you know, send two males right after that. So the thing is what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What and you know, hey, if you're experiencing it yourself, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, that you can speak to it, but there are a lot of people out there that are going through this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say married couples and I'm saying, just just couples that have been together for so long that I'm saying they love each other. I'm saying they want to be with each other, but when it comes to sex, they're not able to please each other. All right. So there are a lot of relationships out there that are in this situation. So I want to, it's a time again. We are a podcast that talk about things that other people want to talk about. All right. So I'll pass this over to Mr. Jamie Wright.
Oh, so we just gonna go right in?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, don't mind if I do. Well, what I'll tell you in my years of experience, and this is something I consider myself an expert in, no matter what you do and how well you do it, everybody's gonna have an off day, right? You have professional athletes, man, who do one thing day in and day out to really perfect their craft and go and perform, and they have off nights, and sometimes they have off seasons, right, where they just find themselves in a slump. And the bedroom is a great activity. It's one of the funnest sports that I enjoy playing. But sometimes you can have an off night, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, shocker, I've had some. Right, I'm gonna be. It's a safe space, right?
No,
I can be honest. I've had an off night. I've had
what is
a
it? Say
off.
it ain't so, Joe. Say it
Yeah,
ain't
yeah, yeah,
so.
man, stress, fatigue, maybe a medication that you're taking at the time for a temporary element, man, it can have some kind of contraindication. You have an off night, but here's what I would say. Especially if you are in a monogamous relationship, whether it's just a relationship or whether it's a marriage. I mean, I know black men don't cheat. And so, and to all of my Caucasian, Latino, and Asian brothers, I know y'all don't either. I just, y'all haven't told me. I just think y'all don't. But what I will say, it's important to have that dialogue and that conversation. And with you and your spouse, you have to assume positive intent. And the only way they can fix a problem is if they know about it. And so if you are being disingenuous and you're being false and you're boosting their ego and not being real, you're shortchanging them and you're shortchanging yourself. Because what I know is I'm like a Google map. I got different ways I can get you to your direction, right? I can get to the I can get to the destination. I got different ways and different avenues that I can explore. But it's important to be truthful, and it's important to have that level of honesty and transparency in a relationship, because the more you withhold that information, man, you're hurting yourself, you're getting displeased and displeasure, and you're setting up unrealistic expectations for your lover who's just really not getting it for you. I think my big brother said it best. If you got to expand your arsenal, you know what I mean, and incorporate, some support mechanisms to help make sure your partner is satisfied, you got to do what you got to do, you know what I mean, and make sure they get what they need, because that's a commitment you made, is to make sure
There
that
are appeals. There are
yeah,
other things out
you
there.
can, I haven't got to the point where that's a journey I've been on, but if I do have it, I'll take it. I'm glad there's other resources out there, but I'm just telling you all, man, you got to be transparent with one another, because if you don't tell him, you're going to tell somebody, right? And so it's best to keep what happens in private. And I think your partner would appreciate it, and they'll go the extra mile to make sure you get what you need. And fellas, as much as we think we Superman at all the times, bro, there's sometimes what you think you did, you didn't. You know what I mean? And if she hasn't expressed to you, I will be the one to break it to you nicely. You know what I mean? It wasn't always you all the time, and you didn't always put your foot in it. So what I would just encourage you all to do, have that conversation, man, be open-minded. If your girl says, you haven't been stepping on it like you used to, don't take offense. Appreciate the feedback, because she could always go somewhere else. The fact that she's keeping it a buck with you, and the same thing with you, ladies. If a dude telling you you're not doing it for him, and he's not getting the satisfaction he used to get, don't get defensive, right? Get creative. That's the advice that I would leave for y'all. And so that'll keep a happy home. That'll keep a happy relationship, knowing that you all are open to exploration and fulfilling each other's desires. So that way we don't have to get other people to help pick up and fill in for them. I don't need a substitute. I don't need a backup, right? This is a job for one. You know what I mean? This ain't a lineup. You know what I'm saying? Where I got people to replace me. And if you want to keep that monogamy, if you want to keep it faithful, and you want to keep it spicy, you got to communicate. And fellas, you got to be chance with yourself, man. Every night, you're not a world star. You're not. It is what it is. And so I think sometimes if you can open up the dialogue, have that transparency with your girl to make sure, hey, are all your desires being met? This is a pop quiz. I'm not seeking for contra, but if there's other ways I can do what you enjoy better, I'm open to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. in the bedroom. I've got a PhD, working on another one. So if you are lifelong learners out there and you want to know how you can do things better, have that collaboration. Don't sit in silence and don't keep things from your partner, because that's keeping things in. You only inviting other problems. So that's my take on it, big bro. And speaking from experience, gentlemen, and ladies who are watching, off nights they happen, but I do rebound. But I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Ashley, in case you want to. I don't know if you're a woman or a man in this segment, but whatever you
Oh,
want
shut up.
to. Whatever you
Shut your
whatever you want
ass up. Okay.
whatever you
Shut
want
up.
to add in here.
Love it, love it.
Yeah. Husband, no, real good. Okay. And my take on this is communication, like it always is. Follow up.
I would love to hear his perspective if you communicate this good, but keep talking. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a master at it. You think you got a PhD in whatever you got going on over there. You should check my wall. I got a whole bunch of them. But when it boils down to the whole sex conversation and it's being silent, I asked a couple of my friends. I want to say five, right? Four of them. And what? Silence? Who's silent? There ain't nobody sitting around for that. If it's bad, it's bad, and I'm gonna let them know that it's bad. Da, 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 da. So I got all kind of. Ain't nobody silent these days over these parts. So I don't know where that statistic came from, but from what I understand, from old to young, I even asked an older person in my life. I'm not gonna say who, but I even asked an older person in my life. And they said, "Oh no, who's silent? Who's silent? What? No, I speak my mind. Let them know. Let them know when it ain't right." And I expect the same. So I don't know too many people that are in relationships that I don't personally know. Not to say that that's not possible. I don't personally know a lot of people that are in relationships that don't speak up when things are not when they're not being sexually satisfied. So I can't speak to that. But as far as myself and my relationship, we talk about things. Babe, I be like, babe, how was it? What was? Oh, you like that? You like that one last night or one
Tell you
night?
the truth? You think he telling you the
Night.
truth?
Huh?
He telling you the truth?
He don't have to say nothing. The actions speak louder than words.
I mean,
It's
we're just talking about faking, you know what I'm saying? All that. I'm like, we just
he
talking
ain't got
about
no reason. Nope. Dip, 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 dip. It's only so much faking you can do. So
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I just,
no,
when it comes to it, it's about communication. And so, because Jamie kind of talked about it, and as you just stated, hey, you may say at the end, what I'm saying, baby, how good was it, in the moment? I mean, my thing though is like, what I'm saying, let's talk about the next day.
don't be. And then so my follow up is like text, like, hey, babe, I like that thing you did the other night, or I need you to do more of that, or
That's foreplay though. You know what I'm saying? That's foreplay. That's hopefully he's like, hey, he could be texting back like, man, in his mind, like, shit was trash last night, but I hope it's better tonight. Hey, babe, I love that. I love that. Hey,
But if he even said that, then that would
tonight
be
make
something.
sure you wear such and such tonight.
I would be okay. I would be okay with that. I would be okay with him saying, babe, you need to do a little bit better. I would be okay with that. Because like you said, we all have our nights. We ain't perfect. We all have our, you know what I mean? Things that we like more of, things that we like less of, but we all have our nights.
Have you shared that with him though?
Yeah, he know.
Has he shared that with you?
Yes. We
Okay.
we have had many conversations. I might be like, damn, babe, I was a little bit lazy last night. My bad. I'll do better next time. But we had those type of conversations all the time. So I feel like the people that I know, my friend group, are boisterous and are like myself. I mean, you gotta at some point, for myself, I guess I wanted to be a sex therapist. So I did a lot of studying. I taught pole dancing class. I taught sensual seduction class. I was big on sexuality and helping women grow into their sexuality. And so for me, when it all boils down to it, I know how to communicate on a different level. Now I got 3 kids, and it's a little bit different. It ain't the same. I can't kind of a physical pole like I used to. I can sit on another kind of pole. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, it's not the same as it used to be back in the day. But at the end of the day, I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge about stuff like that because of the history and what I studied and what I did, the classes that I taught and stuff like that. So I mean, I've had women come to me. I had a woman in my pole class say, my man cheated on me with a stripper, and I'm very self-conscious. I don't think I was as good as her. I'm not pretty as her. How do I get to that point? So when somebody comes to you and say that, when a woman comes to me and say that, then I'm like, all right, we got to get down to the core of this. How do you feel about yourself? And let's communicate with ourselves. So at the end of the day, again, like I said, I feel like I have a little bit more experience in that whole communication realm. And then the friends that I hang around and the women that I associate with, they are
But,
advocates for themselves and they
so I
don't
ask
settle
you,
for nothing less. So
but all that, like you said, you know what I'm saying, that research, that, you know what I'm saying, all that, you know, so what would you say to someone, you know, that is in a relationship? So, you know, so we hear, you know what I'm saying, that you know how to do it. What if
that's what I think.
what if somebody, whether it's a female or male, you know, is experiencing their partner isn't up to it? How do they communicate? How would you communicate to your partner saying, hey, this ain't it?
Or would you encourage them to say, you know what, I'm going to take the lead and I'm going to invite some new tools and try some new things into the relationship to make sure I get it to
Right.
where if my person may not have the necessary emotions to where that kind of feedback could be regulated and could be given in a safe space and they respond maturely, are you saying you would recommend, you know what, sometimes you take matters in your own hands and
And
you go
lead
out and
by
bring a few
example.
things? Yeah, yeah.
Either
So
lead by example or be a little bit more aggressive.
okay.
Like for let's say a woman is
You
not
say more
satisfied.
aggressive, what do you mean?
I'm just going, if I have a friend that says she's not satisfied and she would like her man to do to I don't want to get explicit with it, to do X.
We all adults here.
Right.
I but okay, let's just say she wants a different type of fellatio, right?
You over there getting a little
Yeah, because
bothered.
I'm this my zone.
Hey, you seriously, like, let
Well,
me get comfortable now.
I'm
Let
in
me
my
get
zone.
comfortable.
Where my glasses at? Let me put on my but if I have a friend that says, hey, my husband is not giving me fellatio the way I would like to receive it, what do I do? I would suggest taking matters. I've said something to him, but he's still not. Maybe she said something. I've tried to hint to it. He's still not. I would say find a porno, watch it together. I would say guide him in a different way. I would say grab a piece of his body that kind of simulates that area down there, your private areas, and do it on him and say, this is how I want you to do it. If you grab if you do the inside of your arm right here, it almost looks like a vagina. So you do it on him and say, this is how I want to feel. This is how I want to, you know what I mean? So it's all about, it's about taking initiative and being a little bit more aggressive and boisterous. And it doesn't have to be to hurt somebody's feelings, but you can make it fun and playful and get a piece of fruit and do it the way you would want, you know what I mean? And then then it turns into foreplay. So that communication is not just, hey babe, I'm not satisfied. Can you listen? Can I show you what I want you to do to me? This is how I want to take clips, and you said you can YouTube everything. Look, I watched this video. Send it to him. So there's things that you can do outside of just coming at his manhood and saying, I don't like the way you do that.
You know, and I'm glad Jason asked that question because communication is kind of always a safe answer that I think a lot of people would give. You got to communicate. You got to communicate. Everybody can't handle that kind of communication, right? And it's not a universal approach to everything. It has to be situational,
Right.
especially, you know, your mate, your spouse or significant other, or your lover. And some people that'll take a real blow to their self-confidence. So you may have to incorporate it a different way. So versatility, customization, and taking initiative, and you may be taking the lead on creating the kind of atmosphere in the bedroom that you want. I mean, that's just another tool and another tactic. So I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm glad to hear the male or female, whichever one you were speaking to when you were speaking. But I want to make sure you were finished because I'm also interested in what Big Brother has to say too, because I think that's important. Because we got to communicate, and sometimes it's a blanket statement that means everything and means nothing at the same time.
Right. Exactly.
And I think specificity, versatility, and optionality is important in life, and it's also important in the bedroom. But I digress, and I won't take any more. Was there anything else, sis? Because I was really enlightened by
But
what you were saying.
again, I think it starts off with you got to know your person. Like you said, it starts off with knowing how your person communicates. If you think your person is going to be offended by the way that you communicate your concern, then you have to come up with a different way to do it, which was some of those examples that I suggested.
Sis-
You have to be aware of.
But
Huh?
sis, my whole thing is as we are talking to our audience right now, how would you address it? That's my question, because
That's what I just said. That I'm
Rail's
not
gonna be the
saying
same
20
question
times.
to that. What I'm gonna say is what would you, so if Nell wasn't doing what he was doing, what I'm saying, if Nell wasn't doing what you would like him or desire him to do, how would you approach it?
I
Not,
just
I would say,
said it.
I mean, if you like that, blah, blah, blah. No, how would you say it?
I just said it. I wouldn't say it. I would show them. There's different ways that you can do it. There's different ways.
Hold on. I need you to listen to the question.
Yup.
Listen.
Is it me tonight, ladies? Please. Is it me?
It
Because I'm the only
is.
woman on this, male woman on this show tonight. What is it going on here?
I don't know if you're Ashton or Ashton.
I think y'all got too much testosterone on this show tonight, okay? I only need 2 of y'all at one time, okay?
Pause.
The reason.
Oh my God.
Heavy pause.
Yeah, I don't think Cornell would like that statement. So the question was how would you say it? All right. I'm not saying a scenario. I'm not saying I would do it, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm saying how would you say it? You know what I'm saying? How if you were talking to your male, how would you say it?
Hey, babe.
See, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't want the fake shit. All I'm saying is, how would you do it?
I just said it. I just literally said I would if he wasn't doing something to satisfy me,
Okay.
I would say, listen, listen, can I show you something? And instead of me saying this, okay, and yeah, go ahead, show it to me. All right, look, I'm so interested in this technique. I'm so interested in this. Look, can I lick? I'm gonna lick you right here. This is kind of how I want you to lick me. I like what you did. I'm giving gratification and gratitude. I appreciate what you did, but can you do it a little bit different? And for me and him, I'm just like, we flat out with it, babe. You gotta do better. Like that was weak. But if other people, like you said, have different ways of communicating, so you have to come up with different tools. You have to use setting the mood. You have to use different shows and books and diagrams and YouTube and videos and tutorials that you can send to that person, so you don't necessarily have to have that specific conversation, but showing them those things may open them up to a new way that it may be the subliminal that may hit okay, let me try this. She likes that, so let me try this.
Gotcha. Not, I mean, I know, no, that's what I was hoping. You know, once you got to talking into it, you know, that's what I was looking for. All right. So now I'm gonna pass over to Rail. All right. So
I
Rail,
need another drink.
what is your perspective on that? And then, you know what I'm saying, again, somewhere in your answer, how would you communicate that to your partner?
I mean, first and foremost, for anything, you have to make that your significant other feel comfortable. That's the first and foremost. Comfortability. Got to be comfortable. And then you also got to be able to show vulnerability. What I mean by that is, if it was me, before I address the situation with my significant other, I'm going to ask her, is she happy? Is there anything that I can do to make things better? Is there any areas that I fall short on? Because I want her to feel comfortable to express to me that, yes, you do everything perfect. I mean, you are picture perfect. Don't stop. Don't do everything that you keep doing. You know, that's what I typically hear. But most likely, I would like for them to be able to say something like, you know, you could do this, you could do that, or whatever. Because then once they feel comfortable telling me and they see how well I receive it, then I will be able to feel comfortable enough to tell them, hey, if there's some shortcomings, I'm going to be there to please you. I want to please you. I want to do everything I can to make you happy. If you're not happy, where am I falling short? And then I'm going to actually do it. I want her to rather take my face, whatever, put it there, and then tell me exactly where to go, what to do, or whatever. I'm a pleaser. I'm all about pleasing. And so once they feel comfortable, see that I'm not taking offense to any shortcomings that I may have, then I will feel that they will be better received on saying, hey, here's some things that areas of improvements that I would like to see you do as well. You do this perfect. You just don't do it long enough, or you can do it a little bit better this way. This is what I like.
There are some areas of improvement that you can do better.
Yeah, there's a little areas of improvement. Now,
Is that a
what
is that
what
a is that a scorecard, real?
It's not a scorecard.
Oh, it's not a scorecard.
Don't
Okay.
encourage her, Jamie.
Okay.
Do not
That is
encourage her, Jamie.
That is
It's
a
not a
survey.
scorecard, okay?
That is a survey, not a scorecard. It's a survey.
Management is looking at this survey. Management is looking.
Yeah. So, but what I would do is I would show myself as, hey, I'm willing to learn. Are you? So please let me know anything that I'm falling short on. And then if there's some things that you're falling short on, I would articulate those to you. And then what I mean by that is we can learn from each other and make our sex life better. Or, hey, sweetheart, you do everything perfect. I'm the one falling short. So what can I do to make things better so I can live up to your expectations the way you're living up to mine? But it has to be where you know that person's history to make sure there's no trauma or anything like that happened to them. You have to make that person feel comfortable, because there are some people out there that have, they're scared to show their bodies or whatever the case may be. They got self-esteem issues. You have to make that person feel comfortable, make that person feel beautiful, make that person feel sexy, and then therefore they will be willing to do the things that you're asking them to do without taking any offense. But before you can ask them to do it, you have to be willing to do it first. So that's why what I do, I typically would, hey, is there anything that I can do better? Is there any shortcomings that I have? Please, I want to please you. I want to make sure that you're happy. And then 9 times out of 10, she's going to ask me the same thing. After I have expressed my concern, because I want to make you happy, I'm a pleaser, then she will ask me, is there anything I can do better? Now we both feel comfortable. We both are open and willing to listen to what our mate has to say, and she's willing to listen to what I have.
Space.
And we're in a safe space, and now we can get to the root of if there's any issues. Versus you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, and you did this, I don't like that, or why did you do that? That ain't what I want. You got to make them feel safe, make them feel sexy, make them feel comfortable. Then y'all can get to the nitty gritty of making each other feel the way y'all want to feel. So that's how I would approach it, and making sure that they know that they're in a safe space, make sure they're in a loving space, and to make sure that it's coming from an area where if there's anything that I can improve upon, I want to be able to be the best lover I can be for you. And then in turn, they'll want to reciprocate that.
I like it. I like it. No, I truly believe that, communication is the biggest thing on that. And I think your approach, has been my approach, in the past. It was just saying, hey, what can I do better? Because I want to make sure that, I please you in every way possible. So, hey, I'm asking questions on everything, just to make sure that I'm hitting those spots. And I'll ask it several times because I want to make sure that I'm getting the honest to God truth. And to your point, most of the time, the conversation is reciprocative, saying, okay, so what can I do better?
Right.
But if that question don't pop up, if that person, because some people have egos and they think their shit is the best thing since sliced bread. You might have to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you might have to say, hey, there's a couple of things that, I would like for us to do better, or for us to try. I think Ash, you just said it towards the end, when you open up a little bit of just saying, hey, you know what, can we try this? Because I like this. And the thing, I think one of the biggest thing, as we all, as just first topic and now, in any relationship, that's why they say communication is the biggest, a tool in any relationship. Is if I'm not pleasing you, if I'm not giving you what you want, I need to know about it so that I can fix it. All right. I mean, that's the biggest thing in any relationship, is being honest with yourself, because men, we have big egos. All right, Kanye said it, but I got a big ego. Well, I think that was Beyonce song. So men and women have egos, but I think us men have bigger. But we all got egos. You never know if it to what I know. And I'm sorry to say this for everybody, but Rail kind of hit it on both notes in the first topic and the second topic. But from a communication standpoint of, am I doing what I said or what I thought I am doing? You know what I'm saying? Am I being honest with myself and actually talking to my partner of saying, am I pleasing you? You know, and if I'm not, let me know where the areas in which I am failing you. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, she may tell you one, you know what I'm saying? Because she don't want to hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And it may be three. But that's why it's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, manufacturing is always a continuous improvement, you know? So my thing is, I'm asking all the time, is there anything I can do differently? Is there anything I can do better? You know, but for those that feel insecure, that don't know, you know what I'm saying? You may have to ask a little bit more, you know, but it is up to both partners to be honest in that relationship. Because if you're not honest in that relationship, neither one of you will get what you want out of each other. All right?
That if you're sleeping with somebody, I hope that you feel comfortable enough to have a conversation about sex with a person.
Some people don't, man. Some people,
If you're in a relationship,
some people don't.
it's not the sex that need to be rethought. It's the relationship that need to be rethought.
No shit. Hey, but hold on though. But hold on. And I wouldn't even say that. Sometimes men or women, I'm gonna say men or women, some people are so introverted that they will just suffer in silence. You know, because they don't have the power or the heart or the inside to be able to say, man, this is not what I like.
Do you know somebody like that?
Yes, I do. And some we talked about last week where she has emotionally talked to me about things that she hasn't talked to her husband about, and she is very unsatisfied.
Then she need to rethink her marriage.
See, the thing is she said her husband has an ego and she don't want to hurt his ego. All right. But again, my whole thing, just as I'm telling everybody out here, regardless of your husband, your significant other, your wife, your spouse, what, however big of an ego they have, you have to be honest, or you will suffer in silence. And that's what she's doing right now. She is suffering in silence because she is not happy. She's happy. He's a good father. He's a great, great father. You know what I'm saying? Great provider, takes care of the family. He does everything. She's like, Jason, I'm in that 80-20. He does 80% of everything that I want.
Has she initiated?
And then she said to her, it's really not 80-20. It's a 90-10. And that 10% is in the bedroom. And her thing is, so she is sacrificing it for her family. And I'm like, when your kids grow up, are you still going to stay married because you're not satisfied? When you have nothing else to hold on, you hold on because of the kids. When the kids leave, what do you have to hold on to?
So I used to consult in this area, Jason, and unfortunately, I'm no longer able to do that. But I do have a number of a good family friend of mine that would be more than happy to take this case. So let's we won't address this here for the audience, but let's connect offline. I want to help this young lady. Like
I was about to say, because there's no way in my mind, then you have to do something. You have to take initiative. And if you don't want to take initiative, then you're just going to sit and suffer. If you don't want to sit and suffer, call a therapist. It's like, at some point, you can't just sit around and say, oh, woe is me. At some point, you have to do something. If you're that unhappy, you have to do something, whether it be
sure he is.
What I find ironic is
by itself, whether it be talk to a therapist, take some kind of initiative. I'm not gonna call Jason Wright, that's married with a happy family, and say I'm suffering 10% of my relationship is the pits because the sex. No, I'm gonna call somebody that can give me some real textbook information and or do something. Like, you know,
my cousin will do something. He will do something. So
I don't have sympathy for people. I'm sorry, and maybe that's harsh to say, and I'm a woman, but I don't have sympathy for people that suffer.
But hold on. So I don't want to say that because again, there are a lot of people out there that are suffering in silence, and I don't want to make fun of them or whatever. I'm just saying,
not making fun of them. They just have to take initiative.
That's the reason for the topic today. She is the reason why I put this topic up. You know what I'm saying? She gonna watch this because I wanted her to hear different perspectives. You know, not just mine, but she's not alone, and that's why we're actually talking about it, because she's not alone. All right,
And so they need to go do something about it.
What we are saying, leave sister's passion behind. You know what we are saying.
Absolutely not.
What we are saying collectively is speak up.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Talk. All right, but do it in a respectful manner,
In a loving way.
in a loving manner. You know what I'm saying, with your partner, so that you guys as a team can work it out.
And
So,
if not, please
last
yourself.
thing you
There's a
wanna
lot of
do-
toys.
So again, what I would say is this here, like I asked before, she need to go to him and say, hey, sweetheart, am I pleasing you in every way possible as far as when it comes to our sex life? Is there anything that I'm falling short in? Allow him to say, you know what, you're doing everything picture perfect, or there are some areas I would like to see improved. And then once he has demonstrated and articulated his thoughts and desires, then she should, at that particular point in time, feel comfortable to be able to do hers. And if she couldn't at that particular point in time, then there's another issue altogether there.
And I think that's what I'm getting at. Not trying to be insensitive. Not trying to be insensitive, but that's what I'm getting at. There's a bigger issue. If you're married to someone and you really can't communicate your needs, your desires, then there's a bigger issue. If the ego is that big that you have to sit and suffer, because that was the word that was used, suffer and unhappiness and suffer in silence and not be able to, confide in your significant other and they actually listen and take how you feel into consideration. The issue is not the sex. The issue is something else. The issue the ego issue is a big thing. And so again, it's not, to me, it's bigger than just having that sex conversation. It's if he doesn't really care about what you need sexually, then the issue is bigger. And
I promise you, his ego would be more crushed if he found out his wife is going to another man than going to him. That will hurt his ego more than anything.
Yeah, hey, but the thing about it though is it is about them communicating with each other.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I don't want the subject to chase or to turn to, saying about her connecting outside of it. I want the subject right now. So we talked about connecting outside the marriage, but the subject right now is to connect within the marriage. And I'm gonna say connect within the relationship. So I'm saying, because we're not just talking about married couples, we're talking about couples as well. You know what I'm saying? So make sure we are communicating within our relationships, because if you are not happy, sex is in what I think everybody that's grown and hell, anybody that's breathing, that's watching social media and anything right now, sex plays a big part of all of our lives. All right. And what I want to make sure of, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not happy out there in your relationship, you truly need to have a conversation with your spouse. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer alone. Have the conversation. And to Ashley's point, there may be some underlying issues within the relationship on, as she stated, maybe there's an ego issue with the male. And if it is, okay, we understand. But at the same time, you guys probably need to go to some counseling or do
give my cousin a call.
Someone outside of your relationship, really speak to both of you. What'd you say, Jamie?
Or give my cousin a call. It's like a Stanley Nunn commercial. Shouldn't you be calling?
Hey, I don't think half the people know what you're talking about, but I do. I don't think
I know what he's talking about.
But I do. So hey, those of you do.
In the comments, if you want to know who my cousin, is, ask me in the comments. I'll private chat.
Anyway, we're looking at my producer has been going off on me for the last 5 minutes. We were way over, but I really wanted to make sure that we actually kind of talk about this topic because Thing on this is when
Jamie, you stupid.
Jamie nuts. Man, but when you know somebody that's going through it, it is it hit home to me because so I'm listening to her. You know what I'm saying? She's going through it, and there's other people out there that are going through it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a yearly basis, monthly, and nothing is being done. So if you are going through that, please speak to your partner, talk to your partner, and not only talk to your partner, but think about the longevity of your relationship or your marriage or whatever, because she's staying for the kids. When the kids are gone, if that's gone, if there's nothing there, what are you holding on to? All right, so I just want to make sure that we have, again, this is a podcast that we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. I hate we over our time because I literally want to talk more about this conversation because it goes further than, what I'm saying. Ashley brought it up about, what I'm saying, well, maybe y'all need to be together and blah blah blah. Well, what I'm saying, that's kind of a, what I'm saying, a subject that we need to talk about from a standpoint of the background of it. What I'm saying, are you two compatible? What I'm saying, or is this spouse or this significant other, too different or too extreme for you to continue being in the same relationship with, so those are other topics that we can talk about later on the show. I wish we could talk about a little further today, but we have to put
For all the listeners that are still with us, we're gonna release this full episode in a double disc.
I know, right? Shit, hey, that's my producer's like, hey, y'all. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, we're gonna put a book into that. Hey, please leave it in the comments, man. How you feel if you are speaking to your significant other, if you know others that are going through the same thing, and if you want us to revisit this topic because there are other legs that have sprouted out of this conversation, let us know so that we can make sure that we get it back on our agenda. All right. That being said, hey, we will book in this conversation and we will say good night to all. So I will let my co-host say their goodbyes. You know what I'm saying? I will go in the order of my screen. So Miss Ashley, we'll pass over to you first.
Adios. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. If y'all have any questions, hit me up.
All right.
You can catch me on the real Facebook, at MySpace and LinkedIn at the real Jamie Wright. let me I'm sleepy, man. That's what happened. No, you can catch me on all social media platforms at the real Jamie Wright on LinkedIn, Facebook, and MySpace. And we look forward to seeing you next one.
Hey, this dude's still talking about MySpace. Go ahead, Real.
I got an active account too. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, and Black Planet.
And Black
page? You said back page? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, you guys could have been anywhere in the world, but we're so thankful that you chose to be here with us. And keep on tuning in, and we're going to keep on giving you what you need, what you like, and what makes you laugh. Thank y'all for coming in, and we're tuning in, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. I appreciate my co-host. Hey, we're gonna be out tonight, so the quote that we'll be talking about both topics today. I think both, I'm saying, this sentiments, the sentence is the sentiment of the day. The Bible says the truth will set you free. So, you know what I'm saying? And my quote is, the truth doesn't always feel comfortable, but it always sets you free. So my reflection, every single day we're given opportunities to be more honest with ourselves, with others, and with the life we're always actively creating. But let's be real. Honesty isn't easy. It requires courage. It requires us to sit with discomfort. It asks us to confront the things we've been avoiding in the conversations we've been postponing. It also affects the parts of ourselves that we've kept tucked away in the shadows. And the truth is, what we've avoided doesn't disappear. It just delays the freedom we've been searching for. So tonight, don't walk away just entertained. Walk away aware. Aware of where you've been silent and you should have spoken. Aware of where you've been holding back when you were meant to step forward. Aware of the truth that's been trying to rise within you. Because awareness is where transformation begins. Tomorrow's coming, as it always does. But before it gets here, you still have today. And today, this moment right here is your blank slate. So the real question is, what truth will you finally face? What will you release? And who you would choose to become because of it? And the real question is, what are you going to do with your blank slate? That's all we have for you guys tonight. Y'all have a blessed week. And we'll see you next week. Have a blessed
We're blessed.